Hello, all you beautiful people inside and out. Welcome to League Unlock. Eric and Mark with you guys today. And everyone's been waiting for it and asking for it. The LEC player rankings. We've abandoned Europe for a long time. We've been talking NA and Korea. It's finally time to go back to Europe because the LEC kicks off pretty soon. Less than 2 weeks, action is getting started. We're going to go through all the positions, rank the players 10 to 1, and what a better place to start than in the top lane, because that just makes sense. That's how Summoner's Rift works. There's a whole lot of new players and a whole lot of new teams and new players on new teams, so it's a lot to get through, and it's difficult to rank because we haven't seen a lot of these players actually on their squads yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of movement going on around here for the LEC's first season in franchising. Exciting things we saw in North America last year. Some of the shuffle that goes around here with this.
A lot of shuffle.
But now with a more established system in North America, and then now having franchising here in EU, oh yeah, a lot of players moving around, and it's exciting.
A lot of movement. Let's take a look at numbers 10 to 6. Coming in at number 10, it is formerly of Roccat. It's Prophet, who's on to Rogue this year. He struggled a lot with Roccat, so he's coming in at number 10. Werlib making his return to the LCS on SK Gaming. He was on Mad Lions. He's not a one-trick Jax player anymore, but he's still coming in at number 9 because there's a lot of talent in the top lane. And number 8, Expect, former LCS champion.
Your boy Expect back here in the LEC. I'm actually pretty excited to see him come back. I don't know what we're going to be getting as far as on the Rift performance here. I think that is certainly still going to be a bit of a question mark even for this organization moving forward. But when you're thinking about what you should be getting from Expect, I've got some pretty good memories of some times here, and I'm hoping that we get to see a little bit of a flashback here for some time in the LEC.
He definitely was getting super confident towards the end of his run with G2, and remember, he won a European Masters with Origin, so I expect him to not be too bad. He's definitely more familiar with the EU scene than other Korean imports. And then number 6 and 7, you got a little bit of a roster swap between the two of them. We're talking about Ottawamne and Vizicachi going to each other's opposing teams with the Splice and Shulka swap around that they did. And definitely in 2018, Vizicachi had the better year than Ottawamne. He turned it on towards the end of the split with Splice, but he had some questionable times where he was getting caught out a lot.
Yeah, and that's when you look at those two players and you want to compare their gameplay and their actual performance. It can be somewhat similar, but you do look at the performances from last year and you have to give the edge to Vizicachi. What he was able to do during his time, definitely found some success with Amazing, pairing up in the jungle there. I thought that was a good sign from him moving forward here into this year to show that type of a synergy with the jungler.
And I think in spring, Vizicachi probably underperformed as to what people were expecting from him. He's been a premier top laner for years now in EU, but he definitely returned to that form in the summer split. Obviously, his Poppy is must ban. It doesn't matter how many times they rework that champion, he's gonna make game-changing plays like this one.
Get that Yordle out of here, ban it for sure if you're going up against Vizicachi. Fear the hammer big time.
But carries or tanks, he's shown that he can thrive on, so it's a big pickup for Splice, and I think he'll be looking pretty solid on that squad in 2019. Splice, again, looking like they should be a playoff contender, probably one of the lower seeds like we saw in 2018, but still, Vizicachi looking to perform well in 2019. Let's move on to the top 5, which is the best of the best, the cream of the crop when it comes to top laners. And if you jump way back to the World Championship, Vitality didn't make it out of groups, but they had such a fantastic run, and Cabochard was putting and going toe-to-toe with some of the best in the world in top.
When you're talking about top laners, a lot of the time the focus is only on these superstar top laners that are coming out of Korea. But you have to start paying attention to the top laners that you've got here in the LEC, because this top 5, this is a lot of depth and talent here stacked into this top 5 that I think that you could take into any international competition. I love these guys here at the start. And then even here, down here at number 4, Alphari, man, my man Alphari is going to be surprising a lot of people, bringing some stellar gameplay to Origin's first year here in the LEC.
And when Misfits were popping off and starting off 9-0, one of the main reasons was the bottom lane performing super well, and Alphari was an absolute rock in that top lane. he struggled a little bit, as did the entire squad when they went 2-7 to close out the split. But we've seen him be one of the most consistent top laners across the entire EU scene. So excited to see him in new grounds here with Origin in 2019. And then number 2 and 3, it's Bwipo and Soaz. Bwipo gets the slight edge. He did take that starting spot from Soaz, but Fnatic, man, what a luxury they had in 2018. You just see both their top laners are in the top 3.
Yeah, not only in just the actual talent there, of course, the mentorship and knowledge that Soaz has built up over such a long career in the professional spotlight has to be considered an advantage for him. But then when you're talking about someone like Bwipo, man, you can't say enough about the rookie year that he had last year, putting up some stellar performances, not only in Europe, but also on the world stage there. Very important to remember, Bwipo, and hey, who can't love Bwipo's smiles going on all the time, no matter what's going on in game? Bwipo might be the most expressive player in League of Legends.
And talking about Worlds performances, how about Wunder in 2018? Bwipo got a whole lot of attention, but Wunder was also performing at an incredible level, and people, I mean, this guy got first team All-Pro, and people were a little bit upset about it because they thought, what are you talking about, spring split? He wasn't the best top laner in summer, but this guy has still proven that he can be the best top laner in EU, and for the majority of all of 2018 he had some huge games on the international stage for G2, so he's coming in deservedly so at number 1.
Yeah, massive games here against the Flash Wolves was very important during the group stage part for G2, and then even more further so here against RNG in those quarterfinals was massive, coming up a couple times there with some carry-like performances and some outplays that were vital for the team to get through here. Wunder has to be your top guy in the top lane for 2019 LEC.
And while he did get destroyed by the Shy in the
doesn't?
semifinals, absolutely everyone did at the tournament, so nothing to be ashamed of there. The Shy was just playing at another level. Wunder was the main win condition at times for G2 when the meta was still kind of being settled out. The bot lane was struggling for a bit, Perkz was struggling for a little bit. Wunder was the consistent force in that top lane, and that's why he's our number 1 top laner for 2019.